It's cheap, it's effective, it's something that every aquarist should own. Sponge filter media or sponge pad. This stuff is very versatile and I use it in many different ways throughout the fish cave. And today I want to talk to you guys about the pros and cons about this specific product, why I like it, some of the shortfalls of it compared to a previous model or previous version I was using. But overall, how this thing just makes life so much easier. I think everyone should have one, whether you have 1 tank or 50, whether you use canister filters, hang-on backs, or maybe you just prefer air-driven filtration. These sponge filter foam pad media things have a use for you. First, I want to talk about the different applications it has. Like I said, you can use it no matter what type of filtration you prefer. I think the most straightforward application is probably a canister filter. Most canister filters are the same. Pretty much they all operate under the same principle. There's different compartments. Now they have different sizes and different styles, different shapes. And the great news about this foam is you buy one and you just cut it to size. So literally you could just put it over this, you cut out the shape that you need, and boom, now you have your your stage of that canister filter. I recommend using, scissors can work, or I think the best tool is going to be just a razor blade to kind of carve it out. But this is a great use for your canister filter. It can be one of the first primary stages. This is a 15 ppi or pores per square inch, and that's one of the reasons why I like it compared to some of the products I'd used in the past. They were a little more tighter, so obviously you may want a little tighter foam. Actually, the foam in here is a little bit of a tighter foam. This would be good for what it does. So after the water would run through this foam, you can get into something a little more tighter, and then potentially into something such as filter floss or pillow stuffing. But essentially, what's good about this is it could fit any canister, no matter what brand or model. Same thing as far as hang-on backs. So let's say you're anti-canister, which I haven't done a video, but I've been planning on doing one about hang-on backs versus canisters, and I have qualms with both of them, but canister filters have really been frustrating me lately. But hey, listen, to each their own. They have their pros and cons, and if you do run canister filters, this works for you. If you run hang-on backs, same thing. Like I said, it doesn't matter the brand. Once again, you cut it up and you can slide it in, each side, if you have a dual-sided one or if it's one, it doesn't matter. It's versatile. It doesn't really care, where you bought your filter or what brand it is. You can, cut it up for yourself. I also want to talk about potentially using this as a Hamburg Matten filter. Now, this particular sponge filter is from Aquarium Coop, and they sent me a bunch of stuff a few weeks ago to try out. Corey and Randy were out here, so this video isn't a paid promotion by any means. They did hook me up with some products for free for me to test them out. This thing is not much of a product in terms of, there's no mechanical, parts to it, but why I like their product as opposed to, getting it elsewhere is because, number one, I like supporting people who do good things for the hobby. Number two, he actually had this made, Aquarium Coop had this made to specifications that he thought would be good, and I think they nailed it, because what I noticed with the previous ones I had, they get clogged up too quickly. I try to use them as like a pre-filter sponge. The holes are too tight. You can use it in your canister filter, but it would be more of like the finest, the finest stage, almost like pillow stuffing. So it didn't work. What I did like about that one, and one of the shortcomings of this, is the thickness. This is cut into a 1 inch thick. 1 inch thick height or thickness. The previous product I was using did have a 2 inch thickness, which was really good for the other application that you can use this for, and that's overflows. The current setups I have the foam kind of on top of the PVC, and that's because it's 2 inches thick, so I can do that. I don't believe you could do that with this product. However, you could use this to kind of stuff it inside of a hole. But I think that is one of the shortcomings of this product. It would be nice if it was thicker, because then you could use it as like an intake sponge. Although I will say, this product I think is $5. It's 9 inches by 9 inches by 1 inch thick, You know, for $5, it's a freaking steal. The downside, like I said, you can't use it as an intake sponge. The good news is they do sell pre-filter sponges with the same kind of porosity, and I believe they have a small, medium, and large. I think it's like $2, $4, and $8. It's the same porosity, so it's like I said, it doesn't get clogged up too quickly. And this would be running on the outside of your, you know, hang on back here, or the outside of your intake for your canister filter. What's neat about this is it's uniform and it's closed in the bottom. I bought previous ones where not only was the porosity off, but there was open on the bottom where you had to kind of like put your own little plug there, DIY it. It's nice. It's not expensive, and it just gets the job done. You guys know me, and you know I'm cheap, so I'm always looking to find, you know, the cheapest way to do things. And in the past, I found a slightly cheaper way, which I don't even think it's available anymore, and I think the price went up, to kind of DIY it, and you know, I didn't have good results. I broke out a piece of the old foam so we can compare them and take a look at them side by side. And as you can see, the old one is definitely thicker. It's one of the things that drove me to it in terms of, you know, for the overflow application in my rack system. So it's nice that it's, you know, that thick, but you know, the pores are so tight. You can probably see my face through there. The light gets through. You know, this won't get clogged that quickly. Whereas this, you know, it's might as well be solid. You know, this is a kind of thing you want near the end of your filtration, not at the beginning on the outside or something like that. This is literally an out-of-the-box, you know, answer that I already have. This is one I already have other ones working for me, and like I said, it's the perfect porosity. So if you're interested in picking them up, I'll leave an affiliate link in the comments down below. You don't pay any money, but you will help support the channel. And like I said, if you also want to do a Hamburg Matten filter, let's say you're into just air-driven filters, you don't have any canister filters, or a hang-on back filter, you just do sponge filters and stuff like that. Something you can do with a foam like this for a smaller tank. You could definitely turn this into a Hamburg Matten filter. You know, it's thick enough, the porosity is the correct way. You could, you know, just hook up the air pump or whatever and DIY one fairly easily. The only thing limiting you here is the actual size of it, that it is, once again, 9 inches by 9 inches by 1 inch thick. It's very versatile. For $5, you know, you can't go wrong. Like I said, it doesn't, you know, care what product or brand filter you use, or if you want to kind of DIY something, it'll fit your needs. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Hope you learned something. As always, stay positive and stay passionate.